Perfect. Thank you so much. This is typical with the text sometime, but good morning, everyone. I would like to thank our distinguished guests from Chamber of Commerce, TDSB, the Stratagem Group for joining this morning. Before we begin, I would like to extend my sincere condolences for our late Premier William G. Davis, who served our province with honor from 1971 to 1985. My prayer goes out to the Davis family and whole Ontario during this tough time. It goes without saying that the pandemic has upended a lot of our lives. A lot of us have found a perfect escape through film and TV, where we could live in another world for a short period of time. Ontario is a great place for film and TV production. We have beautiful scenery, world class talent, innovative partnership, and over 45,000 skilled workers employed in film industry. In fact, right here in Mississauga, we actually have six major film studios, including a 260,000 square foot CBS studio, and we are actually going to be having another major studio coming to Mississauga. I want to say thank you to the hard work of the whole industry. Ontario productions were actually nominated for 54 Emmys this year. And of course, I can't think of a better champion for the film and TV production industry than our own minister, Lisa McLeod, who has really put her heart and soul in helping the industry recover from the pandemic. I want to share with you, she has been advocating about the true talent we have to produce content here locally in Ontario and the continuous need to equip people with the right tools. So thank you, Minister. Thank you for being champion. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, our government has launched meaningful programs that have allowed Ontario's youth to get one step closer to their dreams. Not only these are well-paying jobs, these are dream jobs. Animators, VFX specialists, documentary filmmakers, post-production editors, and the list goes on. That is why our Ministry of Labor, Training and Skill Development, is investing $115 million dollars in the Skill Development Fund to support more people to have access to dream jobs. Without further delay, I would like to invite my good friend, colleague, a wonderful family man, an amazing father, and our Minister of Labor, Training and Skill Development, Minister Monty McNair.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Thanks for all your leadership. I'm really proud to work with you every day as my parliamentary assistant at the Ministry of Labor, Training and Skills Development. And you're doing a great job being the voice of families in Mississauga Malton. So thanks for your work. I also, too, want to express my sincere condolences to the family of Premier Davis. Our province is truly grateful that you allowed your father, grandfather, great-grandfather to serve on behalf of Ontario. What a good and decent human being he was, and we will always be grateful to Premier Davis for everything he's done for our province. I also want to thank my colleague. I'm really excited today to finally be making this announcement with Lisa McLeod, a strong member of Premier Ford's team, the Minister of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Culture Industries. Lisa has been talking to me for months and months now about really coming up with innovative solutions to fill the labor shortage in her industries. So Lisa, thanks for everything you're doing. And of course, it's great to be with Rocco Rossi, the president of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce. And Jeff and Jamie, you're going to be hearing from everyone here this morning. As Deepak said, this year really has been difficult. It's set many workers back in our province. That also includes young people who are eagerly trying to get their start and chart their futures. In the best of times, it's certainly challenging to balance doing well in school or at home while thinking about tomorrow. Throw in the curveballs we've faced over the past 18 months, and that challenge might very well seem too big to tackle. And that's why all of us are here today, to give young people the hand up that they need. We all know what a difference a helping hand can make. A good first job gives people the confidence, the skills, and the experience to open doors to lifelong, meaningful work. And getting training for an industry that excites and inspires your creativity is a rare opportunity. That's why I'm delighted to announce that our government, under the leadership of Premier Ford, is providing almost $1 million to train 350 young people for careers in creative industries. Doing what you love doesn't have to mean giving up a good paycheck. This project shows parents and students that there are well-paying jobs out there in creative fields, and it inspires young people to turn their passion into a paycheck. Earlier this year, there were 400 jobs unfilled in performing arts, spectator sports, and related industries. This includes jobs as producers, directors, audio and video recording technicians, and other support staff in film and animation. Some of those roles have an average salary of more than $70,000 every year. This is why training opportunities for our young people in creative industries is vitally important. These are careers that contribute to the economic competitiveness of Ontario and provide meaningful work where you can take pride in what you do. Creative careers are open to everyone, not just the privileged few. That's why this training is free. And for those from Toronto Community Housing, they will be paid both in class and on the job, while students will get high school or college credits. We're breaking down barriers and raising everyone up, especially those with disabilities, those new to Ontario, and people who are Indigenous or Black. By helping these young people start well-paying careers, they can leave behind, in many cases, broken homes, sometimes with drugs and violence, and build a strong family and an even stronger community for everyone. This program has already been piloted with great success for 150 students. If learning from experts and mentors, honing your creative skills, and earning a bigger paycheck sounds good to you, I encourage you to apply through the Toronto District School Board or your post-secondary school. If you're not in school, you can also contact Toronto Community Housing. I want to thank the Stratagem Group for putting forward this innovative training project. And thank you to all of our partners who continue to champion opportunities for our young people to get training that leads to great jobs. Your leadership will truly help the next generation flourish and our province flourish as a whole. So thank you very much. And I'm really, really excited now to turn it over to one of the high school participants, Jamie, to share her story. Jamie, over to you.
Thank you, Minister. And hello, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me here today to share a bit about my experience with this program. I am a student with the TDSB, and I'm currently in my last week of co-op with Stratagem. Prior to this program, I was really on the fence about choosing the arts as a career path because my only mental image of the arts was your classic starving artist. And as someone who would prefer to have enough money to eat, I was unsure, and I needed to get a closer look at the arts to see if there was something that was growing, that was successful, and that I might just love to do. So Stratagem Arts Program is that closer look. There's such a wide range and variety of speakers from high positions in artistic environments like Wattpad and Webtoon, Live Nation, Unity, Moment Factory, and more. It is truly inspiring to see what people who were once students like myself can create. I suggest that you check out Moment Factory's work if you haven't already. It is really, really amazing. In this program, we're not only able to practice our presentation skills and get feedback on that, but also completely new skills like a Unity software, for example. One of my favorite parts of the program is not only learning from the wonderful artists, the teachers, and the mentors, but also from my peers. Everyone in the program is extremely passionate. Everyone is willing to share their skills and everyone is excited. And it's so incredibly valuable to be surrounded with those people. I'm collaborating with new students every week, which seemed daunting at the start, but we picked up so quickly on how to work as a collective, as a team, efficiently, and to have fun. This program has completely opened my eyes to all the possibilities of careers and opportunities within the wonderful world that we call the arts. So I need to say a huge, huge thank you to the TDSB, to Stratagem, and to the Skills Development Fund, Ministry of Labor for your support. And of course, a quick personal thank you to my wonderful teachers, Natalie and Eric, and to Jeff, Michelle, and Mark from Stratagem for making the program what it is. And now it is with my greatest pleasure and utmost respect that I introduce Jeff Melanson, excuse me, Jeff, sorry about that, that I introduce Jeff Melanson, partner of the Stratagem Group.
Thank you, Jamie. I feel like I should just cede my time to you and just have you talk for another couple of minutes. That was fantastic. That was great. It's a real privilege, and as the parliamentary assistant and the minister have said, we've had lots of hard news in the last couple of years, and I got to tell you, working with young people like Jamie is like a bright light. Like if you ever need like a sort of a real dose of enthusiasm about where Ontario is going, this young lady and her compatriots and colleagues are a great example. I just want to tell you a bit about our program. It's Access to Creative Industries, as you've heard. Stratagem, parliamentary assistant, great to hear about all the studios in Mississauga. We love that the studios are booming. We've got a studio on the other side of town, 250,000 square feet, and we'll be coming over your way before too long as well. Stratagem Group is a group of companies and industry leaders, and we believe in the future of creativity. We believe in human creative potential, and we see a future for Ontario that will see tens of thousands of additional jobs. I think the 45,000 is a great base, but we're going to get a lot bigger than that. And as society continues to automate existing jobs, we're seeing just explosion of growth in film and gaming and animation, and the application of those particular approaches to other industries, like gaming, for example, reimagining healthcare, reimagining training, and so on. So very exciting growth happening. Stratagem, we have studios, we do production service, post-production, and finance, but the most important thing for us is human potential and talent, because if we do not have the people, we cannot build these things. To give you an example, a case study, our 250,000 square feet in Scarborough, 3,000 direct and indirect jobs created out of that one property. And we're not the only ones growing in Ontario, so we need to build this capacity. There's a self-interest, of course, in what we're doing, beyond just the beauty of what Jamie and people like her are going to create in the world. As the minister knows, we're delighted to have two key ministers, Minister MacLeod being a sort of tireless champion for all things tourism, sports, and culture, and Minister McNaughton on the labor side. Film has seen a fourfold increase since 2016, so to have a mature industry going up 400% in a 5-year window is incredible. This year is going to be a record year in Ontario, despite the COVID restrictions, which is just incredible to think of. Gaming and animation growing even more quickly. In talking to Unity as an example, we had Unity software to San Francisco present for the students last week. They feel they're 100,000 people short already, and they're just at the beginning of this very steep growth trajectory. So these labor shortages create real opportunities for Ontario and its future. We at Stratagem thought we would partner with larger scale ecosystem partners, given the scale of what we're looking at. So the K-12 system is a really, really key asset for us. This is a small program to start, but we'd like to see that scale across the entire province so that everyone in K-12 education will have access to this sort of training and these kinds of opportunities. Post-secondaries, I think our ministers probably both know, we have 22,000 students enrolled in media, art, and design schools, 9,000 graduates per year. We can channel those people directly into the great paying jobs that Minister McNaughton highlighted. And community-based partners serving marginalized communities is a key priority for us. We're delighted to be partnering with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, and we're members of the Chamber. If you're not a member of the Chamber, become one. They're a great advocate for all things economic development, job creation, even social causes across the province of Ontario. And Magnet, who are our platform partner in creating a platform so that the young talent can register and be directly matched with appropriate jobs. Jamie mentioned her program. We have 30 industry partners working with us to present these sort of opportunities and some of the content for these programs. Live Nation, Moment Factor, Unity, Wattpad as examples. Jamie this summer will get 2 co-op credits, work experience, a reference letter, and a micro-credential badge, all as part of a bundled program. I think we're the first jurisdiction in the world that's experimenting with putting that amount of credentialing in. So a credit to Minister McNaughton and Minister Romano for the incredible work that's being done in micro-credentials across the province as well. Again, our intention is to see this scale. So this is the beginning. So the 350 young people that Minister McNaughton referenced, that's scratching the surface. We have 225,000 people in the Toronto District School Board alone. There's so much potential in this. as we sort of capture these lessons, as we use e-learning platforms like D2L to scale across the province. So we're very excited. We're very thankful to Minister McNaughton for this really, really important seed funding at this stage from the Ministry of Labour, Skills Development and Training. Minister McLeod, I mentioned earlier, should get like some sort of medal for representing tourism, sports, and culture the way that she always does. I don't know how she puts the kind of hours in that she does and is always there for us. Parliamentary Assistant Anand, thank you for your comments today. And with that, I think I'm over my time, so I'm going to turn it over to the champion of all things Ontario, the President and CEO of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, Rocco Rossi.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Much appreciated, and just totally blown away by Jamie. Delighted to be here today, and grateful while we meet in cyberspace. I'm here in the traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit and many other First Nation people who have stewarded the land and the waters for countless generations. Jeff mentioned that the minister should be getting a medal. And of course, all of us were watching over the last couple of weeks the incredible medal haul that Canada had, a new record for the Summer Olympics for us. And while some of those events, very, very short, intense periods, like Andre de Grasse under 20 seconds to get a gold medal, those 20 seconds represent years of incredible work, infrastructure, training, and a strategy up front that Canada has called owning the podium. And owning the podium is not just about Olympic sport. It's also about being able to compete in the global economy for the great jobs of the future. And this program and this investment is all about owning the podium in the future in these key industries. And we're seeing a future Andre de Grasse or Penny Alexiak right here in Jamie, and this kind of program. And so delighted to work with the Ministry of Labour, to work with our partners at Stratagem, with the TDSB, and of course, Minister McLeod. And also a big shout out, we've talked a lot about Bill Davis, and we should be, because perhaps one of the greatest leaders that Canada has produced. But within this context, was the father of the community college system here in Ontario that is so crucial to skills development going forward, and has been such an incredible partner for Stratagem, for the OCC, and everyone else. And to that, I'd now like to turn it over to that incredible champion for, importantly, a ministry whose name was converted to Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Culture Industries to reflect the fact that this is such a key part of the economy. Minister Lisa McLeod, MPP, for the incredible riding of Nepean.
Thanks so much, Rocco, for your kind words. And thank you, Jeff. It's been great to work with you. I'll talk a little bit more about our relationship as we move forward in my remarks. And Jamie, what an incredible speech you gave. And when you said you don't need to be a starving artist, let me say this. I say in this ministry all the time, every artist and every athlete I know is actually an entrepreneur as well. So thank you for that spirited conversation. To Minister McNaughton, I'll start with the conversation he and I had about a year ago in Ottawa when we met with the film and television industry. And it really was trying to figure out how my hardest hit sectors, whether it's the culture industries with film, television, animation, and video gaming, or the more hospitality side with restaurants, hotels, and tourism, how we could work together in order to support the extreme labor shortage we're experiencing in all of those areas right now. And today's announcement of $1 million to support Stratagem, as well as the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, the Toronto District School Board, and Toronto Community Housing, is absolutely critical to fill that massive skills gap. And when you think about names like Stratagem or Live Nation, those are some of the most key and major players in culture industries, not just in Toronto, or in Ontario, but around the world. And I was pleased, as Jeff would probably note, we pre-COVID-19, I believe in February of 2019, 2020, Jeff, myself, his partners, and some others from the Film and Television Advisory Committee were talking about the growth in film and television in Ontario from $1.9 billion in 2018 to $2.1 billion in 2020. And that became obviously a clarion call for us to do a lot of things, which is why I've instructed our Ministerial Advisory Committee to look at how do we increase Canadian content. And as Deepak Anand has mentioned, we are now starting to see that get accolades at the Emmys. I've asked them to look at more film-friendly locations. So Ontario Creates to start working with Destination Ontario to find some of those beautiful places. And Minister McNaughton knows, when I was recently with him in Grand Bend, looking at areas in his community that will be suitable for film and television production. We've also talked about streamlining our tax credits to get more investment here so that production companies like Stratagem will be able to attract more films that would have been based in LA or British Columbia or New York, and having them at their film studios in Scarborough. But the critical thing here is about above and below the line talent. And when we talk about below the line talent, it's everyone who makes that production work. And I've had the opportunity to be at Stratagem in Scarborough with Jonathan Ahi, the president, and of course with Jeff as well, just to see the work that they're putting into the construction, the set preparation, all of the hairstylists, everyone is now part of that ecosystem. And that's why this is so important. When you talk about the micro-credentialing, when you talk about these investments, the targeted investments to train folks like Jamie, that's absolutely critical. And so 350 youth today is an incredible start. And Minister McNaughton is very well aware that I think I texted him last night and said I could, if only I had the skilled talent in my sectors, I could fill 100,000 jobs, because everywhere we go, there is significant demand. And I'll just end on this. When we add video gaming in with animation, with the film and television industry, it's not 2.1 billion, it's over $4 billion. We believe that we can grow that. And so COVID-19 has impacted us. But we were a growing suite of sectors prior to COVID-19. The biggest impediment to us becoming, leaders around the world again is the skilled labor portion of what they do. And so I believe in my heart that investments like this, programs like this, are exactly what we need to change the folks' mindset, that this isn't just about a starving artist, but it's also not exclusive to certain people, that it's really required. And I'm also, in particular, very excited to hear about the BIPOC addition to this, because we recognize, for example, that we need sets in Ontario, in Toronto in particular, that reflect the broader society. And the one thing I continually hear when I'm speaking to executives in Los Angeles or in New York is they love to come to Ontario because of our diversity, and their talent, the above the line talent, feels more comfortable here because they know that they will be included. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Minister McNaughton, but I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be here today. This is obviously a critical passion of mine, but it also signals that there is a leader like Monty McNaughton, understanding that these sectors have an ability to contribute to our economy and provide good, well-paying jobs that are stable. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister McLeod. Tell you, you are a real champion for your sectors, and we all appreciate it. So I'll turn it over to Ryan from my office if there are any questions.
We'll now move to questions. If you do have a question, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Monty. You're doing a great job.